In this video, I will show you how to find the unknown values when you're looking at similar triangles. The first step is to match up your corresponding sides. So for example, I see we have 3x minus 7 right here. That is LN. Here's L and here's N, beginning and end. That's going to correspond with RT. And here's RT right here, so those are corresponding sides. Similarly, we've got the 14, that's MN. Here's MN, that's going to correspond to ST. Here's ST, so those are corresponding sides. Label one triangle as new and label the other triangle as old. It doesn't matter which is which, as long as you set up your equation as new over old equals new over old. So looking at the yellows, new over old would be 3x minus 7 over 9x minus 8. Looking at the blues, new over old would be 14 over 49. All right, now it's time to cross multiply. I'm going to do something I usually don't do, and which is reduce this fraction. This is actually a step that I like to do, but I can't get my students to do it. So I stopped doing it in my videos. But look, I still recommend it. 14 over 49. These are both divisible by 7. Okay, if I divide both of these by 7, 14 over 40, whoops. All right, 14 over 49. This is going to be 2/7. All right, and you can let your calculator do it if you're not good at reducing. But I like to reduce these fractions because it makes it easier for me to see what's happening when I do the distributive property. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the distributive property. And I think for this video, I'm going to reduce this fraction, which I haven't been doing in my other videos. So as I multiply by 7, just don't forget to do the distributive property. So I'm going to do 7 times 3 and 7 times 7. And because I reduced, this is something I can do in my head, and I'm less likely to make a mistake. So 7 times 3x is going to be 21x, and then 7 times 7 is 49, so that'll be minus 49. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the other diagonal. Okay, so again, I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to multiply by doing the distributive property. And because I reduced it, I can do this in my head. So 2 times 9 is 18, and 2 times 8 is 16. All right, so I think it's worth reducing because it keeps the number smaller and you can do more of it in your head. So now I'm going to subtract 18x from both sides. So that's going to give me 3x minus 49 is equal to negative 16. Then I need to add 49 to both sides. And that'll give me 3x equals 33. Obviously, if I divide both sides by 3, I get x equals 11. Now, notice this is not the final answer. We're supposed to solve for x, yes, but then we're supposed to plug it in and find RT. All right, so I now know that x is 11, but I need to find RT. RT is 9x minus 8. Okay, that means that RT is going to be 9 times 11 minus 8. So that's 99 minus 8. So that's 91. And that is the final answer. Okay. For this problem, we have overlapping triangles, but I'm noticing that the bases are not involved. All right, if I look at these as the sides of the triangle, and then these squigglies are the bases, notice how the bases are empty. When that happens, it's a special case, and we can use the Side-Splitter Theorem. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Side-Splitter. Whoops. All right, the Side-Splitter Theorem says that as long as you're just using the sides and not the bases, instead of drawing the triangles completely separately like I would normally do, we can just use the zones. So I've got the yellow zone of the triangle and I've got the blue zone. So instead of doing new over old, I can just set up my equation as yellow over blue. Okay, yellow over blue is equal to yellow over blue. Okay, so looking at this side of the triangle, yellow over blue would be 52 over 39. So I'm going to have 52 over 39. Now, look at the other side of the triangle. If I do yellow over blue again, that's going to be 56 over 5x minus 8. All right, I'm curious if 52 over 39 will reduce at all. Let's see. 52 over 39. Okay, that's 4 over 3. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to do 4 over 3 is equal to 56 over 5x minus 8. Now let's do the distributive property. So if we do this diagonal, did I say distributive property? I meant let's cross multiply. And I will do the distributive property though, as I multiply 4 times both of these. So that's going to give me 20x minus 32 equals. And then we will do this diagonal, and that's just whatever 3 times 56 is. $168. So I'm going to add 32 to both sides. Is this going to be 200? So I'll have 20x equals 200. And then we will divide both sides by 20. And that's going to give me 10. All right, now is this one that I had to find anything else? Nope, we just had to solve for x, and that is it. So we are done with this problem. X is equal to 10. Okay, so side splitter, guys. If the bases of the triangles are not involved, then you can do the side splitter. All right, yellow over blue equals yellow over blue. All right, here's a nice normal problem. Let's match up our corresponding sides. 33 is MK. Here's MK. That's going to correspond with NK. Here's NK. So those are corresponding sides. All right. This is JK. Here's JK. That's going to correspond with LK. Here's LK. So those are the corresponding sides. Now, label one triangle as new and label one triangle as old. Doesn't matter which one is which. Just make sure when you make your equation, you write new over old equals new over old. Okay, look at the blues. If I do new over old, that's going to be 2x minus 6 over 5x minus 21. Look at the yellows. New over old would be 15 over 33. Okay, notice that these are both divisible by 3. So that means we can reduce this fraction, okay, by dividing by 3. So that's going to be 5 over 11. All right, if that was too much for you, then you can use your calculator. All right, anyway, smaller numbers are easier to use. So time to cross multiply. So let's do this diagonal. And we are taking the 11 and we're doing the distributive property. So that's going to be 22x minus 66. Now let's do this diagonal. Okay, we're going to take this 5 and we're going to multiply it by both of these guys. So 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 21, I think, is 105, actually. Okay, so let's get these x's together by subtracting 22x from both sides. So that'll give me negative 66 is equal to 3x minus 105. Then, of course, we will add 105 to both sides. So that's 39. So we have 39 is equal to 3x. And then, of course, we will divide both sides by 3. And then we're going to get x equals 13. Now, this is not the final answer. We have to plug it in to find JK. Here's JK right here, 5x minus 21. So JK is equal to 5x minus 21, which means that JK is equal to 5 times 13 minus 21. $44. So JK is 44. And that is the final answer. Okay, let's do one more, matching up the corresponding sides. We have x plus 9, that's MF. Here's MF, and that corresponds to PX. Here's PX, so those are corresponding sides. We got the 36, that's FL. FL is right here, that's going to correspond to XY, which is right here. So those are corresponding sides. Okay, label one triangle as new and label the other one as old. And then we're just going to do new over old equals new over old. So if you look at the yellows, new over old would be x plus 9 divided by 3x minus 1. Now if you look at the blues, new over old will be 36 over 45. Both of these are divisible by 3. So we can definitely reduce this down. In fact, both of these are divisible by 9. So that's what we really want to do. So let's divide by 9 in the top and the bottom. So that's going to give us 4/5. All right, now if that blew your mind, then use your calculator. 36 over 45 is 4/5. All right, smaller numbers are easier to work with, so I recommend reducing your fractions. So now it's time to cross multiply. So let's do that diagonal. All right, so 5 times x plus 9, you got to do the distributive property like that. So that's going to give me 5x plus 45 equals. All right, now let's do that diagonal. All right, and again, we're doing the distributive property with the 4. So that's going to be 12x minus 4. Let's get the x's together by subtracting 5x from both sides. So that's going to leave me with 45 is equal to 7x minus 4. And then, of course, we will add 4 to both sides, and that's going to make 49 is equal to 7x. So when you divide both sides by 7, that's going to give you x is equal to 7. And I believe that's the final answer. I think this time they just asked us to solve for x. So that's it. X equals 7.